So I don't think I've ever made a video about our food. Everything is heirloom. We don't buy GMO food. We don't buy GMO seeds. This is our strawberry patch. We've had 4 years. We keep the runners poured out of them, but some of them, I think I got about 15 or 20 that I'm rooting. I was going to give to my uncle, and so he could start his own strawberry patch. This side over here is new. I started it last year, and that side over there is around 4 years old. So this is in our backyard, and when it gets dry and hot, sometimes I need 300 or 400 gallons of water for the garden. So I dug a pond. I would say it holds about 1,500 gallons. It just got full yesterday. And I'm going to put rock all the way around it, and there's my waterfall. Pretty neat. Here's our tame blackberry. Gotta put that over it to keep the bugs out. And look, it's branching out. See the little ones down there? That you can use those to make other blackberry plants with. But you know, this is the 3rd year on this one, non-GMO. There's my bamboo. I started that bamboo 4 years ago. They were 3 plants. Now they're coming out everywhere. Now we're going to have to take a walk. I'm a carpenter, so that's all my lumber. I hope you see this, what it looked like TV. I like your garden. Think you're doing a great job on it. About 7 years ago, I was at Lowe's getting lumber for a project. So I bought my wife a couple of plants. I've turned her in. She's gone mad. And our inside of our house looks like that too. We have so many plants in there. There's our chickens. We planted that little tree 3 years ago. But the chickens is what I use to fertilize my garden with. Those chickens are non-GMO too. So last year, I started some blueberry plants, but they didn't seem to go good here. But the grapes did. There's 4 grape plants. This is the 2nd year. 3 raspberry plants. This is their 2nd year. There's our walnut tree. Got another one up there. I think those are elephant ears. There's 2 more pots up there like that. And then, I don't know why. I can't never remember the name of this tree, but it gives off fruit. Somebody probably knows. If you know, stick it in the comments. I always read about that in the Bible, that tree, and I always wondered about them. So I had 6, but only 1 survived the winter. I use those to catch the Japanese beetles with, and they're pretty good. I just got them out. So I've already got a 5-gallon bucket of cucumbers. That's the ones we'll make pickles out of. All of this is non-GMO. There's no genetically modified seeds in here. This little clay pot has 2 copper pennies before 1979 and a galvanized, you can use a nail, but that's a galvanized staple. And there's one there. There's one up there. There's one on all four corners of the garden. See that strip of copper? I have 4 strips of copper. One there, and then there's 3 more over that way. And those 4 pots on each corner combines a dome, electrical dome. You won't see no bugs in here. It works. Copper works. So we got 2 different kinds of cucumbers. These watermelons, I think the biggest one that I pulled last year was 25 pounds and 8 ounces. I think the least one was 22 pounds. Look at that little baby right there. They're everywhere. They're popping out everywhere. We just got close to 4 inches of rain. There's my little turtles. So my corn here is well, I forgot. Back behind, a couple miles back, me and my buddy back there, we got about an acre of corn. I think I planted 5,700 corn seeds, counting these. And I think we have somewhere around 300 pumpkin plants. There's probably 25,000 people come down this hill every day. So they ain't gonna have no trouble. That's my tomato. That's a row of our tomato plants. Most of them are Roma. That's what we can with. And as you can see here, I grow Roma beans. We love them. And I'll be picking beans sometimes this week. Those are green bell peppers. I don't grow too many because each one will produce probably 15 bell peppers. And then our cabbage that we make sauerkraut with, and then all the bug holes you see on that cabbage, that was before I put the copper. Before I put the copper in, and on the copper, I've got a galvanized staple in the middle, and then one on each end, combined with the clay pots and the copper in there, and the galvanized nail creates a dome over our garden. And you know, it's not going to keep away everything, but it did make a difference. I learned this. It's like a 300-year-old thing that they brought over from Switzerland when they came. Now usually I grow a different kind of peas. These are peas, and they'll be ready in a few weeks. And these are just the pea. The other peas that I grow, you didn't even have to take those out of the pod. And then this is my tobacco. Some of this, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only got 7 plants this year. Last year I growed 17. I think I'm going to learn how to grow some or roast some cigars. Some of this tobacco here is from Inca tribe, from Central America, southern Mexico, and some is Pennsylvania red, and some is Cuban gold. And this looks like corn, but it's not. This is sugar cane. It'll probably get 12, 14 foot tall. And you just cut it, strip it down, and eat it. And then I grow some of the biggest sunflowers. This is for the birds. Look how big that is. I grow these for the birds and the bees. I have a beehive, somewhere around 17,000 bees. I don't keep them here for a very good reason. But yeah, my tobacco plants, I'm not a very good tobacco. My whole family used to grow tobacco, but for some reason, I can't get them to get started with me. And of course, we're Christian. Everything that I grow, I say a prayer over. I have a green thumb, but God's what makes everything grow. Yep, it's almost time for the beans. Like much. And then are onions. They're kind of old. I haven't really pulled them, but what I do is I'll take a bale of straw and put some straw in a box, bucket, whatever, and put my onions in with it, and then cover over with straw, and then we keep them. Sometimes all winter, sometimes you have to throw out a few. But yeah. If you remember the thing I had over the chickens back over there, it's a net that I got off of Amazon. It's 70-30. It knocks off 70% of the sun. And when it's going to be 100 in the shade this year, I got ones that are 3 foot wide, 13 foot long. So this row of tomatoes, I'll have 2. I'm going to put 2 over it, and then it'll take 4 to go over the beans. And I'm going to cover them because July and August, it's 100 degrees, dry, no rain. And I have a 700 gallons of barrels back behind the house that I usually keep the rain in, but that was getting hard, so I dug a pond. I dug that pond by hand. Took all last year. But anyway, I'll cover these with a 70-30 tarp, and then when I come up here to water them, it don't just dry up the next day. It don't just dry up the next day. So we are halfway through the year on this. Probably when the corn is gone and the lettuce is gone, I'll plant Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. The cauliflower I grew last year was it was big as a basketball. But in there we have straight 8s is the ones that we're going to make pickles with. But there's my walnut tree that I planted, and there's the rest of our elephant ears up there. But yeah, we grow. We took a cow to the market last week. It'll be ready in about 15 days. I know what went into it, and then about a month from now, we'll have about a 280-pound hog to be slaughtered. We can all of our food. We make some of our pie shells, cakes, and bread. Some fresh butter. We do everything. We try not to buy much stuff from the store. If I go to McDonald's, me or my wife right now, and eat from McDonald's, we would both be sick in 2 hours. You ought to try it sometime. Eat really good food for a week and then go back and see how sick that makes you. But yes, this net right here is a 70-30, and it's to keep the chickens cool. And I'm going to try it this year. It's going to be the first time that I've used it over the garden. You know when your dog gets sick and it eats grass for its belly? Well, my wife figured out what the grass was. So she planted some. So now when our dog gets a bad, her stomach bothers her, she comes at her and eats some of this grass. We're getting ready to do the deck. I already got it power washed. I'm going to build new lattice. You can buy treated lumber and make lattice cheaper than you can buy it. And we're getting ready to stain everything. But yeah. And I'm going to show you 2 more things before I go. These strawberry plants came off of runners. That is called an elephant's foot. And for some reason, in the house, it won't grow. And I don't know why. So we brought it out here. And I'm going to let it sit because of that. Now, I had 3 of those. And they came off of one that was probably 6 foot tall. that a lady that I did some work for had since she was in high school. So she probably had it over 20 years. And I had never seen one that big in my entire life. I haven't seen one this big. Being in Kentucky, I don't ever get to see them. So, you know, people, grow your own food. Find a slaughterhouse near you and buy your own meat. But do your homework. Don't let these people beat you. I buy hamburgers for $4.50 a pound that is ground fresh every day, when 5 other places around me sell it for $6.50 to $7. I think mine at $4.50 is better. But that right there used to be my water. I don't water stuff with water out of the tap. Why? Why would I want to put chlorine in my plants? You know, it just don't make no sense. We have deers here. We have coyotes here. Might sound crazy, but we have black panthers here too. Coyotes, foxes, raccoons, possums, you name it, they're here. That's why we have electric fence up here. All right, YouTube. Learn how to grow your own food. Kill your own meat. If you take a stick, say this tall, and you wrap it with a copper all the way to the top, and then let it come out by itself, and wrap it a few more times like that, cut it, and then stick it in the ground with your plant, your plants will prosper. They will really prosper. Guys, it's Sunday, so y'all have a good week. Truth Lies to America's out.